The goal of this event is really to connect passionate advocates for change in the family, domestic and sexual violence field, and to emerge from this experience with newly sharpened advocacy tools. It's a trigger warning that some of the topics that we're raising may trigger trauma, and you are very welcome to step away from the session at any time to care for yourself. A brief warning now to avoid a kind of time travel whiplash, that the keynote speakers will also be speaking from a future perspective from 2031. All of them have been asked to share their vision of a better 2031 and to share what obstacles they think we could have overcome with bolder leadership, sharper advocacy, and more resources going where they're needed. So I invite you all to close your eyes for a moment while I try my best to set the futuring tone and to situate us in 2031. It's so great that we could all find the time to come together again, 10 years after the Women's Marches and Women's Safety Summit of 2021. My name is Dr. Clare Cooper. I met some of you through some community organising and creative advocacy workshops back in mid-2020. I'm a mother, a musician, a cis white woman. I'm celebrating 30 years as a teacher and workshop facilitator this year, and I'm still lecturing and researching in design futuring in the School of Architecture, Design and Planning at the University of Sydney. It's been 10 years since the international medical humanitarian organisation Médecins Sans Frontières decided to support the Illawarra Women's Health Centre during COVID-19, as demand for FDSV services had more than doubled in what was rightfully called the shadow pandemic. As projected by scientists back in the 2020s, we are witnessing and feeling the effects of greater climate-related disasters, both here in Australia and globally. Australians in their 30s have not only grown up with these events dominating the news, but have engaged in creative resilience training relating to environmental disasters, emerging health issues, displaced populations, and resource politics in their primary and high school curricula. I was then and am still a passionate practitioner of futuring. We all engage in futuring on a daily and sometimes hourly basis. Whether we realise it or not, we make our decisions based on stories of futures, to avoid boredom, disappointment, all the way to loneliness, violence, and shame. We future to seek stimulation, pleasure, companionship, safety, love, and connection. Futuring encourages us to come together to share these future visions, to energise one another. Respecting our past and future ancestors, we try our best to make informed and responsible decisions, but this isn't always available to us. So we reach out to those sometimes with more experience or with more resources, or those who have the time and energy to reflect, to dream, to imagine and create. And that's what we're trying to do tonight. So how did we get to a scenario where the rates of family, domestic and sexual violence have reduced by a drastic 50% in Australia? What were the tipping points? Has the profound change been due to glacial, incremental, constant pressure from advocates and frontline workers? Or has there been a series of events that have shocked the nation into a deep culture change? Our incredible speakers today will help to remind us how far we've come since 2021. They will help us to trace how things have shifted over the last 10 years. You will all recognise these four amazing speakers due to their vital advocacy work in the field. Professor Ash Johnstone, Dr. Karen Williams, Lula Dembele, Minister for Gender Equity currently, and Sally Stevenson.